Hello, my name is Peter Weston with Bwired Technologies. Today I'm going to take a quick look at setting up a Git repository for your projects. Okay, so I'm using Github. There's also Bitbucket and a number of other services. If you have a lot of gumption, you can set up your own server in your office for your Git repositories. I will not be covering that. So let's take a look at GitHub. Here we go. So, very simple. Once you sign in, go to New. Okay, and I'm just going to call this Demo. And a Demo repository. Okay, this one, you now have the choice of doing a private repository, whereas previously that had been a paid option. So you can do that now. If you want to, go ahead. If it's something that you are going to be sharing with the general public, then obviously make it public. Next is the git ignore. Git ignore keeps setup files, project setup files, from being pushed onto the repository, things that will change from computer to computer. So select whatever is appropriate. So if you have C++, for example. You can look up how to set your own git ignore. Git doesn't particularly have to be for programs. It can be for book projects or whatever you want to store online. The license, you have the choice of going with none. If it's internal to your company, just go with none. If it's going to be a public repository, then you have a number of choices here. The Apache, so the three big ones, Apache, GNU, and MIT are at the top, and then there's a number of other choices. If you have some other license in mind, you don't have to do this. You just add a license.txt to your repository once you're set up. So here, creating the repository. Okay. Now, once I've done this, I can go to clone or download. If you're on Windows or Mac and have the GitHub desktop, then you'll have the choice of opening in GitHub. One second, let me just move this out of the way. Here. Open a terminal. Doesn't seem to like opening a terminal and running the recording at the same time. There we go. So, Git, first, let's make a directory called programs, cd programs, and then git clone, and the link that you got off of GitHub. Okay, do a quick list, there's our demo. Okay, and you can see it's empty, or it's not really empty, but if we list the hidden files, here we go. So this is the Git directory, which holds all of the changes as you do different commits, and then the git ignore file. On Windows, these two files will show up on the directory listing. On Linux and Mac, they do not. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to add a file, readme.md. MD is for Markdown. So you should learn Markdown if you're going to be programming. You can just do a search for Daring Fireball or the GitHub Markdown cheat sheet. Okay. So there we are, and now I type git status, and it tells me that there's a file to commit. Okay. So here I'll say git add. I'm going to use a dot for the entire directory. You can add files one at a time, but if it's a small project, you can just go ahead. And then I'll say git commit with the message first commit. Oops. Yeah, I have to set the identity. One moment. I am going to show you this part. It's part of the learning process. So, just like it says here on the command line, say git config global Now that's going to be all of your projects. You can set a local email if it's going to be, say, a personal project versus a company project. Okay. So user.email peter@bwired.ca, and then get config global user.name. There we go. Okay, all set. Now let's try that git commit again. There we go. So it's as it says, push to change to the staging area, so the local staging area. So this is stored in that Git directory, but is not yet on GitHub. Okay. As you go through the day, you want to commit often. So if you add even a small helper function, you do a commit. Any change really, do a commit, and then from time to time do a push to GitHub. So okay, we are going to push to the remote. So we'll say git push origin. The origin in this case, of course, is GitHub. Okay, and for the first time sign in, it's going to ask for your username on GitHub as opposed to your username locally. And your password. Okay, and done. So this is all command line stuff. That's great. However, for the most part, you're going to be using an IDE of some sort, and any serious IDE is going to have Git incorporated in it. Okay, so now that you've committed to GitHub, pushed the files up to GitHub, you can open these in an IDE. Every IDE worth its salt has Git, and quite often GitHub integrated. Okay, I'm using Atom, which is done by the guys at GitHub. Here we go. Okay, and you can see the files here are in gray. I have the Git panel open on the side. So that's just a pop open side panel. I'll move this over so we can see it. The initial commit was when I started the repository on GitHub. The first commit was the one I just did on the command line. Okay, I'm going to add another file. There we go. Okay, and you can see as soon as I've saved a change, it shows in green. It's here on an unstaged change, so I can say stage all. Once I'm ready, I can say added a test file, and then commit to master. Again, this only commits it locally, it's not on GitHub. So here, I'll say push, and once again, and okay, done. Let's take a look at GitHub. And there we go. So that's the basics of starting a repository and getting going on GitHub. Okay, have a good one.